Another signing day in the books. Just your overall impression of this class?
I think it's a really deep class. If you look at some of our classes in years past, I think from a numbers standpoint, it's our highest numbered class that we've had in a while. I think we got, a lot of times you're going to have it kind of broke up into different tiers for the players, as far as like difference makers and you guys you project that could play as redshirt freshmen, guys that could play as sophomores. I think in this year's class, with the depth that we have, I think we have a lot of guys that have the possibility of helping us early. Really, really excited about this year's class.
What is it about this class that stands out?
Well, I always say this, and the coaching staff, those guys do a great job. As far as you think about all the miles that they put in, all the hard work that they put in to put this class together. But there's a lot of players in this class too that were start to finish guys, meaning that, we evaluate them in the spring, of course, and then we begin to make contact and see them at camp and things like that in the summertime, all the way up until signing day. There's a lot of those guys that we signed, and I think for us, that's one of the things that makes it special is that they're definitely our type of guys, and we talk about that a lot here. We know we want to find the best players, but we want to find the best players that fit best within our culture and the way that we do things, and that's what excites me. I'm always excited about players that love Emporia State and they want to be a part of not only our football program but also be a part of this great university.
When you were putting this class together, was it based on need? Was it based on finding the best available player?
Yeah, I think it always is it's always based on need, but I've learned throughout my years of recruiting too that if there's a really good player, even though it's like he could possibly be a difference maker, he fits into the way that you do things, then I think you figure out a way to make that work. So you always start with needs. I felt like we met our needs, and we kind of maybe oversigned a little bit, you might say, in some positions, but we've done that before, and it always ends up working itself out.
What was the biggest need that you felt like you guys needed to fill with this recruiting class?
Well, for us, I think it's always, it's easy for us to find skill players. Whether it be offense, defense, I think you always look at offensive line. I think it's always important to find young offensive linemen that you can develop while they're here, and I think that was our biggest need. I think that's usually always our biggest need, is trying to find the best O-lineman that we can, and then you just kind of branch out from there. We did not sign a quarterback in last year's class, and we needed to do that this year, and we got a really good one. You also have to look at your depth chart. We signed 2 running backs this year. We got 2-3 seniors, I think, coming back next year. So you want to have another group ready to go once those guys leave.
Talk a little bit about just the Emporia State connection with these guys. I think you got like 5 kids you signed whose parents are really close relatives, played here at Emporia State in one shape or form.
Yeah, we do. I think we have 5 players that there's some type of connection to Emporia State, whether it's basically they're one of their parents played here at Emporia State, was an athlete here at Emporia State. And I think that's huge. I think, again, I know some players don't want to follow in their mother or their father's footsteps, but I also think that the connection that you have with Emporia State, the things that we're known for, a lot of that's not changed from even since I played here, as far as having kids that are tough. You want kids that know what Emporia State's all about. So anytime you can get somebody that's already has a connection there with Emporia State, then I think it makes it a little bit easier with the recruiting process. And a lot of those, it's not a lot of them, but every one of those kids that we signed, they were start to finish guys. As far as we identified them, we found out that there was a connection there at Emporia State, and we were able to recruit them from summer through the fall all the way up until signing day. And I think that's pretty special. I think it's also pretty special for the parents, that went to school here.